Hey, Terry Brazil here for PerfectElectronicCigarette.com. Today we're going to go and actually do a little bit something different other than a review. We're going to go and do a quick little how-to on a mixed liquid. You can really use most any liquid you get. Myself, I mix anywhere from 18 to 36. I've even mixed 12 just because myself I like to go and smoke around 8 milligram because I've always smoked light cigarettes. The one thing you can do if you really want to go and mix liquid, there's one place you can stop, and that'd be Walmart. This is no paid endorsement by any means. I'm sure they wouldn't pay me to do this. But while I was there the other day, I stopped by and I got some of this. This is glycerin, okay? You can go and get this by the pharmacy. It's usually like hand creams, calamine lotion type of area. Essentially, people go and use this for moistening their hands, I suppose. But this is vegetable glycerin. And the biggest thing you got to look for is right up in the corner there. It says USP. You got to make sure that says USP. That basically means it's a food grade. This is like 99.5% glycerin. I don't know what the other 0.5%, but it's half of a percent. I'm sure if it was something completely horrible like that's in a normal cigarette, like arsenic or something horrible like that, it still wouldn't really be all that bad. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure it's water. One thing that you'll really notice about the vegetable glycerin, or glycerin as it says on the thing, or VG, depending on what you want to call it, is that it's rather thick. It's more of a syrupy type of substance. It's really thick. It's not so liquidy as propylene glycol is. So I recommend not mixing more, or less than I should say, half with your liquid, because you really need something to cut it down. What I am going to go and mix in, actually while I was there too, I also stopped by and asked the pharmacist, and I got one of these handy little syringes for measuring liquids. This one measures up to 1 milliliter, which is perfectly fine. I usually mix my liquid in small quantities. You can go and mix it whatever quantity you want, and I'm sure even if you're mixing up to 10 milliliters at a time, this would be a great little syringe to use because you can really measure it out pretty accurately. I also got some various vials, prescription bottles, whatever you want to call them, that you can go ahead and use to mix liquid in. Myself, I don't mix that much. So what I am using is this. This is the empty cartridge from I believe a Lucy electronic cigarette. So this is just one of the empty cartridges from a Lucy. What you can see I did here is I put a toothpick in that hole, broke it off, and just rubbed it against the table. I'm going to go and do all this stuff in the air because tables are for wussies, and who really needs a table, right? So let me go and open up everything here. I don't really go and measure everything out exactly precisely. I'm making small quantities for myself. If you're going to go and make large quantities of liquid and possibly be selling this or anything else, I suggest that you go and get some kind of calculator. I believe there's one floating around out there that will go and tell you how much you should put of, your glycerin or your VG or PG or whatever you want to call it, how much you want to put of however many milligram liquid. It figures all that junk out for you. Myself, I just kind of like to eyeball it. This is 18 milligram. Essentially, I want to go down to, let's say, 8. So we want to go, let's go down to 6. That makes it easy. We want 1/3 liquid. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in 4 drops of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 drops of cherry. Let's actually go and make it 5 just because we like living on the edge. It might turn out a little bit more than 6. We'll make that 7 drops. It'll probably be more like 9, depending on how much glycerin we put in, of course. And as far as the glycerin goes, just put the syringe in there, pull it up, get a good little amount of glycerin there. This stuff lasts forever. I think this bottle cost $3.12. It'll probably last me for a good year at least. And we're going to go and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 drops of glycerin, 7 drops of 18 milliliter fluid. So essentially we are at 18 milligram fluid. So essentially we're at 9 milligrams. I just take a little toothpick, stir it around, wipe it off. Make sure that our VG syringe is nice and cleaned out by simply pulling it up and pumping it down a couple times. You can actually pull it all the way out, give it a little tap, and that will get the stuff down to the bottom. And then the last drop over there. And now when I go and pull this in, I simply pull this up to the top until I have everything I'm looking to get there. And then we find a cart that's somewhere nearby. Put a couple drops in there. And then I'm going to take and squirt the rest straight back into here. Might be enough for something else. And what I've really noticed is a lot of the stuff that comes from manufacturers is mixed with propylene glycol, or PG, as us vapors like to call it. PG doesn't put off a whole bunch of vapor. It puts off some vapor, puts off good vapor, but not great vapor. If you want to get a lot of vapor, you hit vegetable glycerin. But VG will turn something that gives moderate smoke to something that gives a lot of smoke. You can go and take one of the lesser electronic cigarettes, like say Blue or Lucy, that doesn't put off quite as much vapor as say the Titan 510, and it will put off more vapor. I mean, if a vapor is something that you're really looking for, if you want the illusion of just seeing the smoke, because when it all comes down to it, it doesn't really matter how much vapor you put out. You can have something that puts out barely no vapor that's giving you 18 milligrams of, nicotine. So it really matters what you're into. But all in all, I found that vegetable glycerin is really good to mix with. This was something simple. You can get better meter droppers out there. You can go and check places around and get a do-it-yourself kit. But if you're really on a budget and you just want something like now instead of waiting for a week for your shipment to get delivered, through the mail or what have you, stop at Walmart, get some glycerin. It costs $3.12. Talk to the pharmacist and ask him if you can have a metered syringe that measures up to 1 milliliter. And he'll give it to you, most likely. My pharmacist person was really cool. I kind of went in there clueless looking for all this stuff to buy, and he kept on throwing stuff in a bag and just giving it to me. But all in all, if you go and mix it with the VG, it gives you a lot more vapor. So if you want to go and get more electronic cigarette hints and tips, how-tos, reviews, or even talk to us on the forums, go ahead and click the link that's up in this corner over here, right there, depending on where you're at. But click on that link, come by and visit us. We'd love to see you.